Welcome to Block Time. So it's the end of January and I'm in Toronto, and I just spent all day yesterday at the Cambridge House Cantech conference. So Cantech is a big technology conference that happens in Toronto every year. I've been the last couple of years. The conference is definitely growing. I was really impressed to see how many people attended this year. And in particular, obviously, what I was looking at is how's the blockchain scene evolved as far as it comes to Cantech. So to contextualize that, so last year I presented for BTL at Cantech, and we were the only blockchain company at Cantech. A year ago, the cannabis space was very hot. A lot of people were focused on that, and it was really just before people started to take a big interest in the blockchain space. So BTL is the only blockchain company presenting, and that's obviously a huge contrast from this year when I say probably over half of the companies that were attending Cantech were blockchain companies. Again, my kind of overall impression of what we're seeing this year, it's a lot of companies that are very early stage, promoting what they're gonna do, not what they've already done. I was impressed by some of the companies there. There was some new companies I was introduced to that are building some really interesting technology, but still very early stage. And I'm still not seeing, and I talk about this in some of my other videos, we're still not seeing that crossing the chasm from actually building to delivering in enterprise. Obviously, that's a big focus for BTL, is delivering in the enterprise space. And I'm a real big believer that in the short term, and ultimately in the long term as well, that is where the biggest opportunity is delivering into big companies where there's a lot of money spent on infrastructure, especially when it comes to IT, and blockchain has huge transformational potential, and we're still not seeing big delivery into the enterprise space. The other thing I thought was quite interesting and ultimately quite positive is I didn't see any ICOs. And I may have missed a few. I didn't manage to chat to every company there. But in contrast to the North American Bitcoin conference that I attended in Miami a few weeks ago, which was very, very ICO focused, a lot of very early stage companies trying to raise money, there was definitely a sense of more maturity at Cantech. Companies weren't trying to tokenize, they weren't just trying to do an ICO for the sake of it. And obviously the conference is more focused on traditional investment, but the companies are looking for more traditional investment to build foundational technology. And that I think is really good to see. Also, what I liked as well was non-blockchain companies, so companies that are building technology in other areas, are starting to integrate blockchain into their technology suite to essentially enhance their products. So whether they're building in the real estate space or the retail space or the healthcare space, all of these companies are starting to explore how they can bring blockchain into their technology stack to start to see some of those efficiencies, to start to unlock some of that new potential. So Cantech's definitely growing this year. A big blockchain focus, big healthcare focus, a lot of companies emerging in the Canadian technology scene. I think it's very positive to see that, not just for the blockchain space, but in general, to see more and more companies that are able to raise money in Canada, that are able to access capital on the Canadian exchanges. And ultimately, it's a global audience. I think we're very lucky in Canada that we can list on a Canadian exchange, but still access that global capital. And I think there's a big focus of that at Cantech. The TMX did a great job supporting it. The sponsors did a great job supporting it. I think the conference is very well run. And I think a good showcase of how Canada is innovating in the technology space and supporting companies that are innovating in the technology space, whilst at the same time giving them access to global capital. So yeah, big fan of the conference. I thought it went really well. Lots of interest. It was great on the BTL side to meet existing BTL investors and obviously new investors. And I think a good positive move to the blockchain space as well. I mentioned that a lot of these companies are early stage, but overall I think it was positive to see the level of maturity that a lot of these companies are bringing to the table.